IVM.
News Kids on the Block. We bring to you stories that top the nation's papers, fresh from the ASN International School and IVM desks. Hi, I'm Kavya.
I'm Anya.
And I'm Trivik.
And welcome to this episode of News Kids on the Block, where we give you all the top news updates of the week. And Trivik, for a change, you guys, we'll get the bad stuff over with. Trivik, on to you.
And our first piece of business for you today, we're going to be talking about Tottenham Hotspur's new managerial appointment, as they have just appointed serial winner Antonio Conte for the club.
How hot of the Spurs.
That is quite hot of the Spurs indeed. And what all I have to say about this move is that Antonio Conte, he is a serial winner. Everywhere he goes, he manages to win something or the other. His style of play, the 3-5-2 formation, works perfectly for Spurs, and I think that's Son and Kane front two is also going to do wonders for them with Tanganga right centre back. I think the players are perfectly suited for this. I think they need to back him in the transfer window, and I think he really is the one who can break the Tottenham Trophy curse and bring silverware back to the lane, to the White Hart Lane. Oh, well, now it's the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but you get the idea. I think Conte could really be the man to spark a change in this football club after the recent downfall they've suffered. And I think that will be a great appointment for them, and Man United will be really sad to have missed out on the appointment of this superstar. Over to you, Bhavya.
Thanks, Trivik. So the story I have for you today is something that we hear a lot about: explorations in space and people learning more about space and discovering and going on journeys there. But not often do we hear about people going underwater to explore. So when I came across the story, I knew that we had to do it. Basically, the Indian marine researchers will dive into the depths of the oceans as part of the Samudrayan mission. They will go 6 kilometers deep, and they will learn more about and explore something that is very common, but yet is very mysterious. And it's not something that we know a whole lot about. The Samudrayan mission will place India in an elite list of 6 nations that have operated deep sea probes from exploration studies and research. Scientists have already tested a basic version of the human carrying shell of the Samudrayan mission near the Chennai coast, but that was a steel hull that was only meant for like a demonstration and only went up to 500 meters, where this one, which is a titanium hull, it'll go 6 kilometers deep into the sea. So I can't wait to see what they discover and what they learn. With that, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back with News Kids on the Block.
Habits? Routines? How exactly do they help us get better? Well, to simplify it for you, tune in to the Habit Coach podcast. I am Ashton Doctor, and I'm going to be here to help you get better daily with some simple, easy to do habits that you can easily adapt to your life. So tune in to the Habit Coach podcast from Monday to Friday, because I believe that awesome lives start with awesome habits.
Welcome back. You're listening to News Kids on the Block. I'm your co-host Kavya, and I hand it over to Anya for the next story.
The next story we have for you today is about the COP26, which is a climate summit. Different member states from all around the world are coming together to talk about climate change. So let's talk about, firstly, why it's important. And if you've read anything about it, they've referred to it as this next big step, not only tackling the climate crisis, but literally saving the world in a lot of ways. So some history. In 2015, there was a series of agreements known as the Paris Climate Accords. And this treaty talked about climate change, adaptation, and finance. And it was signed in April 2016. And in that agreement, one of the most important points was that nations were legally bounded to limit the rise in global temperature to well below 2 degrees Celsius. But, they crossed that before this climate summit, which is why this climate summit is becoming so important. Because the goals that they had set for themselves in 2015 wasn't reached per se, they had to re-meet in 5 years, which would have been 2015 December. But because of COVID, they couldn't, which is why it's almost like the world's agenda when it comes to tackling climate change has been pushed back, and they have to, jump back forward and really get on their feet. So obviously there's a lot riding on these things. So a few updates. Firstly, US President Joe Biden said that the US wants to lead by example. And I'm quoting him from an Indian Express article where he says, "We want to do more to help developing countries accelerate the clean energy transition." Our own Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India hopes to achieve net zero carbon emissions by the year 2070. He also said that they will work on their non-fossil energy capacity, as well as work on their emissions per unit GDP, which would be reduced by at least 45% in 2030 from 2005. Boris Johnson talked about how the global summit is strapped to a doomsday device. And for now, a lot of people have said some really interesting things about what they hope to do. But that being said, the climate crisis is something that has been ignored for so long that it makes it very hard for us to now sit and tackle it. So hopefully we have some really strong agreements and we'll see some great changes in the way that not only our country, but the world is in regards to climate change.
With that, I will take you guys on to our next story for the day. And it is a story about, I guess you could say it is a positive change we're seeing in the world, but it should never have been happening in the first place. So the Norway's beach handball team has finally won their fight over the sexist uniform rules. So to give you some context, so female beach handball players will no longer have to compete in bikinis. The Sports International Federation has decided, like about 3 months after a decision, to fine this Norway team for wearing shorts instead of the regulation bikinis, which triggered widespread outrage. And from January 2022, women will be required to wear something else and not a bikinis, while it is a start when competing according to new regulations which were published by the International Handball Federation. And I am glad to finally be seeing a change taken and to finally seeing an initiative being taken to see changes being made in the not just the sporting world, but in the fight against sexism everywhere. I think it is pretty big for those who play handball and the fans of the sport to see this change. And I'm really happy that it was put into place. Anya, do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, Trivik, I agree with you completely. I think that it's a great step. It is just a step. We talked about this when we talked about the German athletes in the Olympics, the gymnasts who, decided to wear full body suits. And when we were talking about them, and one of the main points that we had when we spoke about that was we wanted to make sure that women's sport was viewed in the same way as men's sport was in terms of skill, talent, and capability. And I think that with a rule like the kind of outfit or the dress code that you have to maintain, that can take away from it. So I'm so glad that the Norway team was able to achieve something. And it's all about choice at the end of the day. So I think this will be a good step in the future, Trivik, like you said.
And with that, we will be taking a short break. This has been News Kids on the Block. We will see you after a few previews.
Hey, everybody. It's been a great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says, singer and music composer Osho Jain tells Cyrus all about his debut album, SAR. Want to find out all there is about mixed martial arts? On Simplified, Chuck Norrie and Tony and Shrike speak to Siddharth Rao, a national-level kickboxer. On All Things Policy, Sapni JK and Megha Pardi join Mihir Mahajan to discuss regulatory initiatives related to the use of AI. And on Football, Shivpal, Siva Sapre and Karthik talk about the action-packed game week that it was. Man U, Barcelona and India losing their games on the same day, Mo Salah's hat-trick and a whole lot more. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quarter, CoinSwitch, Kuber, Slay Coffee, Intel, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and Oxfam India. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Welcome back. You're listening to News Kids on the Block. I'm your co-host, or the best host, Kavya, and I'll take us into the next story, which is really heartwarming and my favorite type of stories to do. Basically, an NGO called Imagine Trust started a clothes bank at Electronic City in Bangalore, which basically gives away clothes at the cost of 1 rupee per clothing item. Basically, instead of a normal bank that gives money, it's a bank that gives clothes. This trust was started by Milisha Norhona, her husband Vinod Lobo, her mother Gladys, and 2 of her friends Nitin Kumar and Vignesh in 2013. The idea of a clothes bank was something that they came up with in the peak of the pandemic. And they said that it was their duty to give back to society. She also said, one of the people said that a poor family spends around 2,000 rupees per year on clothes. And the idea of this clothes bank was to help them spend money on something that mattered more and something that was more important rather than clothes, which is also a necessity, but to spend it on something that would help them more. So this is really nice to see, because obviously this is a really big move and this is a really big step. But there are so many little things that we can do to help that don't require as much as an effort or a sacrifice. So I think this is just a really good example for people around the world.
Yes, Kavya, absolutely. I think it's a great model, and like you said, it's something that people all around the world could do. Well, speaking of the world, and that's a terrible segue, by the way, Australia was known to have had some of the most hardcore lockdown restrictions when it came to COVID. And after 600 days, Australia lifted their travel ban. If you remember reading the headlines, when lockdown was in full swing, you might have even read about how Australia criminalized like Indians coming in and Indians coming out. And these are just some really heartwarming scenes that you can go and you can watch like YouTube videos and stuff on them. And they just kind of show people not being able to see their families. There's some people talking about, I can leave the country and go see my family after like 3 years. I also know that in Australia, the way that it is, when you come into the country and you have to quarantine or self-isolate, it's sort of, you have to do it on your own cost. Like you have to pay for it yourself. And as a result of that, I know that a lot of people didn't go, or if they went, it was just really expensive. The point being that it was really hard to get in and out of Australia, and that made a lot of people's lives very difficult. And that has changed now for the first time in 600 days, like I said. So it just gives us a little bit of light and hope as we head into the festive season. So very happy Diwali to all of our listeners.
Please, while having a happy Diwali and while seeing your family and spending time with them, please do stay safe. Remember, COVID is still a huge problem and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So stay safe, wear a mask, stay socially distanced, all that. But yeah, we hope you have a great Diwali.
And just take a moment to be grateful for all that we have in these very trying times.
Happy Diwali, everybody.
Happy Diwali. Anyways, that's all we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed this episode of News Kids on the Block. Don't forget to tune in to us every Friday for our fresh take on the news from across the globe.
If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other podcasts on the IVM network.
You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram.
We'll see you next week. But till then, do share this episode with your folks. Stay safe. And don't forget to do your homework.
Have you ever wondered where the business world is headed? How the ways in which we create, market, and sell to consumers will evolve? Or if we'll ever go back to wearing pants while working? For answers to all of this and more, tune into Advertising is Dead with me, Varun Dugirala. Every Tuesday, as I talk to entrepreneurs, leaders, and change makers from across business, media, marketing, and beyond. You can catch all episodes of Advertising is Dead on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcast from.
Eventually, you'll see the end of your childhood.
Get accustomed to womanhood.
Enjoy the experience of sisterhood.
Might get to wifehood.
Or not. Choose motherhood.
Or not. You'll learn to define your personhood.
Earn a livelihood.
Change the neighborhood.
And get rid of the falsehood that life post-academia is easy.
So join me, Natasha.
And me, Ayushi.
On a journey from station starting point.
To station, what now?
Next station, Pudin station. And hopefully, Agla station, adulthood.
Fresh episodes out every Thursday.